Did you know that inflation in the US hit a shocking 8.5% last year? That's the highest it's been in over 40 years. It's wild to think about how much prices have skyrocketed for everyday things like groceries and gas. So, what's going on? Today, we're diving into Kamala Harris's recent claims about inflation and whether they really explain everything happening in America right now. Recently, Vice President Kamala Harris made headlines by linking inflation to a variety of pressing issues in the country, from rising living costs to economic stability. She suggested that inflation is a major player in these challenges. But is she onto something, or is it just political spin? Let's unpack this and see what's really going on behind the numbers. Presentation of problem/challenge. Now, let's talk about the backlash Harris has faced. Many folks are skeptical about her claims, and it's easy to see why. With rising prices becoming a daily topic of conversation, people are genuinely worried about their economic futures. When you walk into a grocery store and see milk prices through the roof, it's hard not to feel that something is seriously wrong. Critics argue that blaming inflation for everything might be a way to deflect responsibility from larger systemic issues. They point to the fact that many Americans are struggling to make ends meet and are frustrated with politicians who seem out of touch with their everyday lives. So, while Harris's comments might resonate with some, they've definitely raised eyebrows and sparked a debate about accountability and transparency. Exploration/development. To really understand the situation, we need to dig deeper into what's causing this inflation. It's not just one thing, it's a cocktail of factors. First up, we have supply chain issues. The pandemic threw a wrench into production and distribution, causing delays and shortages that pushed prices up. Then, there are government policies, like stimulus packages, that while necessary, can also lead to increased demand that outpaces supply. And let's not forget global events, like the conflict in Ukraine, which has impacted energy prices worldwide. All these elements are swirling together to create the inflation we're experiencing today. So, is it fair to pin all of this on Harris and her team? It's a complex web, and understanding it is crucial to figuring out what solutions might actually work. Climax/key moment. Here's a key insight that sheds some light on the debate. A recent study found that nearly 70% of Americans believe that inflation is affecting their daily lives significantly. This statistic really drives home the point that inflation isn't just an economic term, it's a real, tangible issue for millions of people. At the same time, experts warn that while inflation is a big deal, it's not the only factor at play. High prices can also stem from corporate greed, which can lead to inflated profits at the expense of consumers. This kind of information raises a critical question: is it right for leaders to use inflation as a blanket explanation for everything, or does it distract us from addressing the root causes? Conclusion/summary. So, to wrap it all up, Kamala Harris's assertions about inflation as a root cause of various issues in America open a much broader conversation. While inflation is undeniably a significant factor affecting all of us, it's clear that the situation is far more complicated than a simple blame game. Understanding this complexity is essential for grasping how it impacts our daily lives and what we can do to address these challenges moving forward. Call to action, CTA. Now, I want to hear from you. What do you think about Harris's comments on inflation? Do you believe it's the main culprit behind the problems we're facing, or is it a distraction from deeper issues? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. And if you're interested in more insights on economic issues, don't forget to check out my previous video where we break down the impacts of government spending on our economy. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.